Start.
Hi, my name's Andy Field. I am the co-director of Forest Fringe, and I've also been working as the online curator for the connected website, sort of before, during, and after the conference. And the reason that we wanted to do that, to have an online curator, was to try and give a sort of context to some of the work that was here. Because it's such a sort of fascinating, diverse collection of artists that have been gathered under this kind of one title of interactive, that I thought it was really important to try and map the territory that those artists are exploring. And because it's all about interactivity and participation by everybody and anybody, to provide a forum for discussion, for anybody who wants to be able to interact with the showcase and respond to the questions that it's provoking. And it's been a really brilliant process to be able to see that happening, to see both the artists and members of the British Council and members of the general public just responding and sort of engaging with some of the ideas that are kind of circulating around interactivity, and that the British Council is kind of encouraging those conversations to flourish. Personally as well, as an artist who makes this kind of interactive work and has collaborated a lot with some of the people involved in the showcase, with Matt Adams from Blast Theory and Tassos Stevens from Coney and the Stoke Newington boys. It's been really fascinating to have that opportunity to begin sort of structuring some thoughts around this kind of sort of massive and sort of unusual landscape in which we're all working, and to have a kind of a point, sort of like a flag in the ground of we can gather here and we can talk and think and share what it is we're all doing and why we're doing it, and have a conversation, which I think is really important, because the way that this work is going to be thrive and be understood by more people and be accepted by more people and be engaged with by more people is by having a kind of critical discourse around it. A critical discourse that both explains what we're doing, but also criticises it and challenges us to think better and think harder about why we're asking for this kind of levels of interactivity and this participation, what that means for us, what that means for the audience, and what that means for the art. So it's been a really exciting process in terms of that. Being in Tokyo as well, which is the first time I've been here, has been a really great experience as well. And I think that the experience of the busyness of this city, the kind of the unending sort of landscape of buildings, has been sort of a really has really demonstrated why this work is so exciting. The way that it can kind of make something that might initially appear kind of quite an impenetrable sort of labyrinth of streets and kind of communities, and sort of bring it into sort of bring you some sense of relationship with it. I loved going down to Stoke Newington's live art speed dating and sort of suddenly being able to discover this sort of wealth of Japanese artists and have these sort of intimate moments of encounter with them and discover what they do. That was wonderful. And things like Duncan Speaken's Subtle Mob, that, you know, gives you the opportunity to reflect on these sort of city streets and the kind of the movement of people through them, I think is really exciting. It's really exciting to see. And in terms of Forest Fringe, one of the things that we're obviously trying to do is to explore whether these kind of works can be sort of transplanted or recreated or reimagined in different cities and different contexts. And so it's exciting for us to see how well that's been done here, you know, to see, you know, the Subtle Mob working so effectively in such a different context, to see live art speed dating working with artists in a totally different language and a sort of totally different country, to see Tassos Stevens gathering people to play in a way that they've never done before, and for them to be really embracing that. It's really exciting and gratifying to see that just as kind of we all have said that it does, this work can engage anybody and is accessible and is exciting, and that only given the opportunity to do so, it can really gather a kind of massive and exciting global audience. And yeah, it's been a very exciting process to be involved.